Hello, everyone. I'm attorney Justin Lovely, and I'm here with my wife and my law partner, Amy Lawrence. This is another episode of the video and podcast of the Carolina Justice Report. We're glad to be talking to you again today from lovely Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The weather's starting to get cold, but we're still working and still giving information for you guys. We're going to talk to you more in depth today about traumatic brain injuries. I know we've spoken about that in the past. We want to just, touch on that some more and kind of let our audience know, how we've helped clients, similar clients who may be in your situation. We're also going to talk about, what should you look for in hiring a lawyer? Because for many people, this is the first time that you've ever used legal services probably in your life, when you or a loved one is injured in either in a car wreck or at work or anything like that. So we'll touch base on that and give you our insights and what we think you should look for, what you should ask so you make the right decision. So, Amy, how's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good.
Good job.
When we talk about brain injuries, those kind of cases are the medical behind it and the law behind it is, it's always evolving. And one of the things that we do is we go to San Diego, and actually Justin just got back. I wasn't able to go this year because of COVID. But tell them about this conference you went to.
So, TBI Med Legal is the largest lawyer conference in the world. There were people from everywhere that came out to San Diego. This was a few months ago. Normally it's held in April, but COVID set everything back. But cutting edge stuff. It's not just lawyers going to CLEs. It's doctors, physical therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, everybody who has anything that has to do with the treatment of a TBI case is out there in San Diego, explaining and teaching hands-on these new cutting edge treatment procedures that are able to help people who have mild traumatic brain injuries or severe brain injury. Now, the issue that we have, and it's not just in South Carolina, but really in South Carolina, is we lack the people, the infrastructure to be able to treat people who have brain injuries. So a lot of times it goes misdiagnosed or undiagnosed. And then even if it is diagnosed correctly, there's just no places for them to treat.
Yeah, we don't have the cutting edge MRI machines that they have, like they have out in California and across the country. We're not using the hyperbaric chambers to be able to heal the brain, that kind of stuff. And so, one of the things that we do is we find those resources for you. And while we might not have them in South Carolina, if you have a brain injury, we're finding where you can go and get those services. That way we can put you back whole, or as whole as we can get you, and get you as better as we can make you.
And it might be local treatment. It might be going down to Charleston. It might even be going out of state. But those are things that have to be done if you suffer a brain injury after an accident.
We always say the words, they use the terminology as a mild traumatic brain injury. And all injuries to our brain is traumatic. And it drives me crazy because none are mild. Some are less worse, I guess would be the word. But those are the kind of cases that we see a lot, these mild traumatic brain injuries. And, one of the best stories is a client that we helped named Beth. And what we did and how we helped her and how we got her into those services and got her into neurologists to be able to help put her back whole.
So let's take a look.
I had seizures for 2 weeks after the car accident due to the brain trauma.
Beth was T-boned by a driver who failed to yield the right-of-way. She was diagnosed with a mild traumatic brain injury, which is obviously an oxymoron. There's no such thing as a mild traumatic brain injury. A brain injury is a brain injury.
I had to learn to walk and talk and even feed myself.
The most important thing that we have to do when we're dealing with head injuries is to make sure that the client gets in to see a neurologist.
18 months later, I am still receiving trauma therapy and have been since being released from the hospital. That it is a very life-changing experience.
It's a long road to recovery with a head injury. And in Beth's case, she could not work. She was a teacher. Not only was she a teacher, but she helped develop the curriculum for Horry County Schools. That's her expertise.
It's a hard pill to swallow for me because I feel like I have the information in my head, but it's trapped there and I can't process the words quickly enough. I see them on the paper, but I just can't get them out, unfortunately, at a quick rate.
So no one ever expects to have to fight your own insurance coverage. That's what happened to Beth. And so I'm so honored and glad that she retained us. We were able to work her case up to conclusion and obtain all the policies that she had been paying for years.
I received the maximum settlement, and when that happened, I knew that I was going to be okay. Get in touch with Justin and Amy. They came through 100% on their promises that I would not have to worry about the financial part, and not even paying a single bill, that their firm did all of that paperwork for me, and that was such a relief. I am so pleased that we now have become friends, and I know that I could call them at a moment notice and they'd be there to help me.
Beth's story, just wow. I'm so glad. We were so honored that she chose us, the lovely law firm, to help her. She's became a friend, just like she said, over the years, and she's really came a long way. And part of that was definitely getting the accurate diagnosis that she needed and getting to the right medical professionals. In her case, they didn't even diagnose, they didn't believe her when she went after a car wreck. They had no idea. And the issue is, these ERs around here, they're just trying to save your life, make sure you're not going to die on them. So when she first came to us and she kept telling us what she was experiencing, I mean, the light bulb clicked off and we knew there was something else to this.
Yeah, to be able to help Beth and people like Beth, it's the best feeling in the whole world.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. And she's got a long way to go, but she's on the right path, and we were able to help her in our office. Now, when this happens to people, choosing the lawyer, if it's happening to you or a family member, that's a very difficult decision, and it's very threatening and intimidating. People don't know what questions to ask because this has never happened to you before. So, Amy, what do you think people should look for when they're trying to hire a lawyer after an accident?
Well, I mean, I think one, you should always go with a lawyer that you feel comfortable with. That makes all the difference. And one of the things, we don't use big words. We don't use a bunch of legalese around our office. We talk to our clients and our potential clients just like they're our moms, our sisters, our brothers, our friends, because on some level, they are and they will be. And I think that's a big part of it, is if I go in there and use a bunch of fancy words that you don't understand, then what am I really doing? Am I helping you understand the process? And that just doesn't get us where we need to go and where our clients need to go. So we talk to our clients just like they're our family, and we make them feel comfortable. We educate them. I think when lawyers aren't willing to tell you what they're doing and why they're doing it, there's no secret sauce here. It's a process, and we educate our clients, and I think that makes really all the difference, because at least when they don't know what's happening and they've never been through this process, and the majority of our clients haven't, they're scared and they're intimidated. We want them to know that we're a safe zone for them, and we're going to help them, and we're going to be with them every step of the way and explain the whole process.
And going back to your point, you have to have somebody that you're comfortable with. And we've always made it a point in our practice over the last 13 years that, yes, we want to get to know our clients as a person, not just for a case. So we'll get in there, we'll know them, we'll know what's happening in their life, because when we get to know them, the more we get to know them, the better educated we become if we have to explain your case to a jury, okay? And so, again, if you're comfortable with us, we'd be glad to be able to represent you. And we've helped people in your shoes, any kind of personal injury case. We've handled pretty much everything that you can possibly think of. One of the cases that we helped out, and this kind of explains it, because we can toot our own horn and kind of give you some advice, but we'd rather you hear from one of our clients, Debbie Flincham. And she came to us, and we've helped her and her family for several years on several different cases. So let's take a look at that and just hear Debbie's story. Justice, to me, it can mean a lot of different things. It really just depends on what kind of situation the client's dealing with. Sometimes it can mean forgiveness. Other times, mercy might be the definition of justice. Often in my practice and what I see, it's compensation. Because oftentimes compensation is the only thing that can right a wrong and make a client whole again from the wrongs that they've incurred in their daily life.
Jess and I truly believe that if we can't treat our clients like we would treat our family, like our mom, our dad, our brother, our sister, then why are we doing this, right? We're in this business to help people. So it's our goal to treat them just like that.
When I met with Amy, I will never forget the words that she told to me, and that was that we will make sure that justice prevails in this. And I remember Amy telling me not to be scared, that I wasn't alone, that she would be with me every step of the way. To have Amy and Justin on my side was almost like having Amy and Justin on one side of me and God on the other. They wrap their arms around you and they care about you. They're like family.
I tell my clients every day when they come in, they have the shame that comes with them. Good people make bad choices, and that doesn't mean that they have to pay that price for the rest of their life.
The best thing about my practice every day is at the end of the day, the end of the week, I get to help people. We level the playing field with these big insurance companies who are only out there to make a profit for their shareholders. We represent the little guy, the working man, who has no idea what to do. We do it every day, and that's what drives me, makes me wake up in the morning. When life gets ugly, justice is lovely.
You know, being able to help Debbie and her family and people like Debbie and her family it's our biggest joy, and it's why we do what we do.
Yeah. Well, guys, we appreciate your time today. You know where we're at. We're in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. You can find us on all your social media channels, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We're glad to be coming at you again. And of course, listen to the podcast where you consume your podcast media, if that's iTunes, Spotify. We're on all of them. So we'll see you next week. And again, this is Justin Lovely and attorney Amy Lawrence, and this is the Carolina Justice Report, and we'll see you next time.